Sheriff Todd Baxter, employees of the Monroe County Sheriff's Office, District Attorney Sandra Doorley, employees of the Monroe County District Attorney's Office, Paul C. Melcher, James Money Jr. in Packard Court, Alex Renzi in New York State Supreme Court. My name is Chris Chichester. I'm demanding you disclose the names of my prosecutors' silence because I have been in jail 6 times, and 6 times a prosecutor's not talked in court. There's not one word. There's not one sound. There's not one syllable. There's not one sentence from these freaks. You, District Attorney Sandra Doorley, and your employees, to include Perry Duckles, Mark Monahan, Elizabeth Buckley, and Michelle Crowley, have refused for 18 months to disclose the names of prosecutors that delivered me to jail in total silence. So this is the Freedom of Information Law dated this Monday, October 23rd. You get into the office, you can email it to me. cchichester@gmail. And what I'm going to receive either on the Gmail or in my mail here is there's going to be another document in the mail forcing me to one of these corrupt judges like Alex Renzi, the New York State Supreme Court supervising judge, or Paul C. Melcher, or John P. Melcher Jr., James P. Money Jr. It'll be a corrupt judge that you force me in front of where you don't have to utter one single word for me to be delivered to jail, because that's happened to me every single time I'm in jail. So I will be in jail for the 7th time. And for the 7th time, there's not going to be one sentence spoken in court by a prosecutor assigned to that appearance. I have prosecutors. Perry Duckles for $140,000, I believe is your salary. Do I have that right? No, 113,918 and 94 cents, because you really need that 94 cents. So Perry Duckles, what are the names of my prosecutors? Because it's a taxpayer-financed public proceeding. And this is a taxpayer-financed psychopath prosecutor. And you, Perry Duckles, qualify as a psychopath prosecutor because I contacted you in writing on January 1 of this year, 2023, and you, Perry Duckles, for $113,918 refused to disclose the names of my prosecutors' silence. Every single time you've refused. Elizabeth D. Buckley at the District Attorney's Office since 2007. Elizabeth D. Buckley, 104,474 and 88 cents. $104,000 public employee Elizabeth Buckley. What are the names of my prosecutor's silence? What would you think, Elizabeth Buckley, if you had a friend or family member, boyfriend, husband, girlfriend, wife, whoever it is in your life, Elizabeth Buckley, delivered to jail one time prosecuting talk court? Does that matter to you? So, $85,000 Don Benedetto and $73,000 Michael Hulan walked onto the private property of my 70-year-old neighbor in Penfield 2 years ago and hid. Is that legal? Public Defender Julie Sanker for $147,000. Assistant Public Defender Mark Phillips for $87,000. Can the cops walk onto private property anywhere and lie in wait for a citizen? These are psychopath cops. And I didn't commit a crime this night because I've never committed a crime at my age of 58. Prior to moving to Monroe County in 2012 to meet my then girlfriend Laura Riley when we lived in Webster, I got a speeding ticket in my place of employment in Albany, New York, a speeding ticket in my place of employment in Washington, D.C., and both were dismissed in court. And what I now know with these corrupt judges and these star chambers, it doesn't matter how you live your life at all. You're just a skell in front of a corrupt judge. So, $85,000 Don Benedetto, Michael Sulano, hiding on my private property of my neighbor, on the private property of my neighbor. Anything they say is a lie. These are corrupt psychopath cops. And you, Michelle Crowley, director of the grand jury, love to believe corrupt psychopath cops. And on this night, he doesn't know it yet, $73,000 Michael Hulan is going to become a perjurer. Hulan and Benedetto come running at me and turn around and run away. I never stop running. I get to my back porch that has 3 steps. I grab a hammer alongside my bike. I place my foot on the first of 3 steps to run through the sliding glass door. Michael Hulan grabs my arm. The hammer goes up like this. I run through the sliding glass door. I never stop running. That's not a crime. Michelle Crowley, do you think I committed a crime? All you had to do was call me to the grand jury, and I would have sat in that witness box, and you could ask me question after question right in front of these 18 to 24 anonymous idiots that you want to be idiots. You want the stupidest people you can find so you can manipulate them. So, Michelle Crowley, am I being perfectly clear here? Do you understand what I'm talking about? The disgusting sick hack that I ran the whole time? And they have to come up with a lie for why they're there. Because they will probably think when they're outside my residence, this is not good for us. Because this citizen, in all likelihood, is going to contact the sheriff's office about us being here. So the lie is I swung a hammer at Michael Houlihan when I've never been violent in my life. And every friend, every family member, every girlfriend, every coworker, every single person who has known me since July 4, 1965 will say I've never been violent. So Michael Houlihan lied. It's one thing to be a liar. All these freaks at the sheriff's office concocting crimes for me like $83,000 Shannon Meyer are liars. Andrew Rial's a liar. They're all liars. This is him being a liar and a perjurer. So when you convene this grand jury, Michelle Crowley, and Michael Houlihan is in that witness box, and Michael Houlihan states in the grand jury, I swung a hammer at him, he perjures himself. What do you fail to understand, Michelle Crowley? I'm not asking this rhetorically. Tell me what you fail to understand, because you obviously do. The Appellate Division of State Supreme Court is where an attorney is disbarred. I'm going to pursue you to disbar me, Michelle Crowley, so answer me. I have also written this down. I'm going to write it down again. I'm going to again send it to you. And Michelle Crowley, as far as me saying this to you, here's your name right here. This is on February 6th. The documentation I sent to you, what I said here arrived in the office, I wrote it down too. This is in writing. This is your name, Michelle Crowley, on February 6th. I don't hear anything from you. Do you know why, Michelle Crowley? It's the most basic, easy to understand explanation for you, Michelle Crowley. You're corrupt. So this is the Freedom of Information Law. Answer me, Michelle Crowley. And you too, you party-switching psychopath diva, Sandra Doorley, doesn't know if she's Democrat or Republican. Answer me, District Attorney Sandra, about this. This is why she's corrupt, this pathetic, disgusting, sick hack. She has looked right at this and refused to comply for 18 months. Freedom of Information Law. Information about the grand jury convened by District Attorney Sandra Doorley, to target Christopher Todd listed as 1 day, month, and year the grand jury is convened. 2, decide District Attorney's Office employed and address the grand jury. 3, the witnesses that testified to the grand jury. 4, the vote of the grand jurors. 5, the transcript of the grand jury proceeding. What do you fail to understand? You do fail to understand the English language. You need to read The Elements of Style by E.B. White and Armstrong Jr., Michelle Crowley, because English is a challenge for you in that diseased brain. So, Michelle Crowley, how long have you been at the District Attorney's Office? I believe I have length of service here for all you freaks and psychopaths. If I could find that document that is length of service. And is it your practice, Michelle Crowley, to always convene a grand jury and the target of the grand jury doesn't know that the grand jury is convened? And I don't think I'm going to be able to find this quickly for you, you disgusting, repulsive, nauseating, sick hack, Michelle Crowley, who should be disbarred. For how long you've been at the District Attorney's Office, but it's over a decade for you, Michelle Crowley, that you've been there in that office. And what's the answer as far as what I just stated here, Michelle Crowley? Is your common practice to convene that grand jury, and then the citizen doesn't know that the grand jury is convened? What do you think about that? $104,000 with Buckley. You should think that that's insane. So, I walked into the Pembroke Public Library. It is insane for a police officer to violently attack an innocent citizen anywhere in the United States of America. And this is a freak cop who I wrote the criminal complaint about that you have in your office, because what I'm going to read right here, I need a new check. And the criminal complaint I wrote on July 22nd, about $75,000 Richard J. Seaton arrived in the District Attorney's Office. He has been arrested. He has been fired. This is a violent psychopath cop. Todd Baxter loves violent psychopath cops. I'm going to read those criminal complaints too. None of those people have been arrested. You'll concoct crimes for men where it's impossible for an assistant district attorney to exercise a First Amendment right in court and describe a crime I've committed. You'll concoct this insanity for me, this fiction for me. Every single one of these I'm going to read, these are real crimes. You're not going to arrest, prosecute, or jail any of these freaks right here, because you're freaks at the sheriff's office and district attorney's office, like this freak right here, Richard J. Seaton. So, Freedom of Information Law dated this Monday, October 23rd, 2023. The issuance of a new check to Christopher Chichester, address below for expired check in the amount of $61.39. The county and row officer sheriff and May fund account, because that's the dollar amount in the pocket of Chichester, who violently attacked the Pembroke Public Library by 75-904 Richard J. Seaton, the Monmouth County Sheriff's Office. I do not know. It's the last time I leave my residence at 26 Sandra from Drummond. This psychopath cop, Richard J. Seaman, and his psychopath partner staring at me. They follow me down Penfield Road. They follow me to Bad Road. I sit down at the library computer terminal. I see Seaman and his psychopath partner walking. And Seaman starts to run in the library, runs at me, slams his arm at the side of my head. I fell backwards, my head hit the ceramic tile. Just like I was violently attacked outside the pharmacy on Still Webbings at 2157 Penfield Road. He should be in state prison for what he did for me. This is not jail. And he wanted me to be fired because Todd Baxter, the sheriff of Monroe County, loves violence. So, now I have 3 freaks at least prosecuting in total silence, and Alex Renzi in the New York State Supreme Court said I was finished and done, and that's not true. I will be in jail for the 7th time. So the freaking sociopath prosecuting me in total silence before Paul C. Metzer, John P. Metzer Jr., and Alex Renzi's right here, because this is the payroll for the district attorney's office. Now, public defender Julie Sianka, do you know that I've contacted you on this app called TikTok about my prosecutor's silence? Do you? Because I think you do. It's an abomination. So, what I'm trying to play here, I just said, did you hear that word on prosecutors? Because the video is not playing. You refuse to answer. And that's a disgrace. It's an abomination. And it's why you're unethical. Your subordinates at the Public Defender's Office, Mark Phillips and Regina Harper, refuse to disclose the names of my prosecutors that I sent to your office. I'm going to put these envelopes in a box. I'm going to mail them to you, Julie Sianka. Sign for it. I have contacted the United States Attorney for Western District of New York, Trinity Ross. I've contacted Attorney General Merrick Garland using registered mail term C. I've contacted the Office of Kathy Hochul. And I've informed these offices that have regulatory power and control over Todd Baxter and Sandra Doorley that I have been in jail 6 times, and 6 times the prosecutor's not talked in court. Julie Sianka, if a citizen anywhere in the United States of America is to be delivered to jail, should a prosecutor talk in court? Does a prosecutor talk in court? The answer, Monroe County Public Defender Julie Sianka, is yes. What is wrong with you? Because I have now contacted you via YouTube. There is something wrong with you, and what's wrong with you is you're corrupt and unethical. It's not an exaggeration, it's not hyperbole. I'll prove it right now. What are the names of my prosecutors? Monroe County Public Defender Julie Sianka. And I'm going to hear nothing. Just like I'm going to hear nothing about the names of my prosecutors, these freaks and sociopaths right now. Little technical delay there on my phone, on this app I use TikTok. So I have at least 3 prosecutors, and you're going to do, you freaks and sociopaths, exactly what Julie Sianka did, exactly what Assistant Public Defender Mark Phillips did, and what Sandra Doorley has done for 18 months. This is going to rhyme in the district attorney's office. What Sandra Doorley is going to look right is, I hope, if her health allows it. These next 3 foils will have at least 3 prosecutors. She's going to refuse to disclose the names of my prosecutor's silence because District Attorney Sandra Doorley has vanished from being the district attorney. She doesn't exist as a district attorney. I have prosecutors assigned to my court appearances. They've delivered me to jail in total silence. And the vanished district attorney is going to refuse to disclose the names of these freaks and sociopaths. For your information, the documentation for the case of Christopher Child sets the Penfield Court for John P. Metzer Jr. What's the name of the prosecutor, Sandra Doorley. The freaking sociopath is right here. And you $113,000 Perry Douglas know the name of the freaking sociopath. And you $104,000 Elizabeth Buckley know the name of the freaking sociopath. Just send me the name of that freaking sociopath. And number of ways you can reach me. The address, emails here right here on the foil. So now I have to appear before this $28,000 bald-headed widow, Paul C. Metzer. And this is the boy who's like this, I know. It's just like I think that prosecutor before John Clemenzo is Julie Hahn in Monroe County Court with 17% in the vote. So you know who knows if my prosecutor is Julie Hahn or isn't Julie Hahn? It's Sandra Doorley. Just like you know Elizabeth Buckley, and you know Perry Douglas, and you know Mark Monahan, and you know Michelle Crowley, who it is. This is the boy that Regina Harper, the public defender's office, said the prosecutor's not backing down. That's her exact language. And my immediate thought when Regina said to me the prosecutor's not backing down is this is a psychopath. For your information, the documentation for the case of Christopher Chichester, before Paul C. Metzler in Penn Court. What is his name? The prosecutor, Sandra Doorley. The freaking sociopath before Paul C. Metzler is right here. Who is it? So, Alex Renzi is the supervising judge in New York State Supreme Court. Documentation for the case for Christopher Chises for Alex Renzi in New York State Supreme Court. What is the name of the prosecutor, Sandra Doorley? Freaking sociopath is right here. Who is it? Who forced me in to Alex Renzi when I received this further proceedings? I'm at my temporary residence right here because I was evicted by Antonio Spano. He forces me in for this further proceedings where he remands me to Monroe County Jail. I'm not going to talk about this again because it'll take too long. I'm here. I'm trying to move back to Albany. Prosecutor for Alex Renzi with this further proceedings, which is a ridiculous 1984 joke language. Who is it? You've vanished from the truth at the district attorney's office. You've vanished from reality at the district attorney's office. I have prosecutors when I'm in court, like right here. And who is it? I have prosecutors like right here before John P. Renzi Jr. Is that Julie Hahn? Or is that not Julie Hahn? And you're refusing every single time to tell me who it is. And why is that? And it has an answer. It's because you're corrupt. That's why. It's as simple and basic as it gets. There's the 5'2", 3-piece suit boy before Paul C. Metzler. I just told you to tell me his name. So I try to get organized here because of all the documentation I have around me. I'm trying to communicate with you freaks and sociopaths in a clear and concise way. Send me the names of my prosecutors right here. Public Defender Julie Siaka, Assistant Public Defender Mark Phillips, Perry Duckles, Elizabeth Buckley, Michelle Crowley, Mark Monahan. Do you freaks and sociopaths not understand that I have been in jail 6 times? And 6 times one of your fellow freaks and sociopaths has destroyed my life in total silence, where I own nothing and have nothing, in a $600 apartment in Rochester, New York. My dress screens from 17 Cavalry, 101st Airborne Division are gone because he freak prosecutors silence. My BA from the State University of New York at Stony Brook is gone because he's freak prosecutors silence. My 1,000 books are gone because he's freak prosecutors silence. Every single thing I own in this life is gone because he's freak prosecutors silence. An 80-year-old Antonino Spano, Fairport, New York, locking the doors of my residence 26 standards from driving Penn, New York, without a court order for which he hasn't been arrested. He's not going to spend one goddamn day in jail. I have nothing because of this old man. And I have nothing because these freak prosecutors are silence. And tell me who it is, you freaks at the public defender's office and district attorney's office, because they're right here. So sexual harassment at the sheriff's office and district attorney's office. Sexual harassment is a man asking a woman out on a date over and over and over. She's under siege with no. Sexual harassment is a man forcible touching in the office. She says, keep your hands to yourself. Don't touch me. Sexual harassment is low, vile, vulgar language, oftentimes laden misogyny that makes it possible to focus and concentrate. Just sexual harassment at the sheriff's office. I don't use that term on the foil here. It's covered under Title VII of the 1964 Civil Rights Act from my research, and I hope I'm correct about this. This is why Sandra Doorley is corrupt. This is why Todd Baxter is corrupt. The duly elected district attorney and sheriff of Monroe County are refusing to answer me. I'm absolutely convinced the answer is yes. You have what's commonly called sexual harassment. You have employees that have been fired for sexual harassment. There's no doubt about it. Employees at the sheriff's office, the district attorney's office have been fired for sexual harassment. That I'll never know. What I'm trying to do and attempting to discover if there's been a settlement where taxpayer dollars are used, Freedom of Information Law. The cost of taxpayers, Monroe County Sheriff Todd Baxter expended taxpayer dollars to settle employment-related discrimination lawsuits, federal comply with Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. This Benito Mussolini skinhead vanished from the law. This is the law right here. He's refused to comply with it. Freedom of Information Law. The cost of taxpayers, Monroe County District Attorney Sandra Doorley has expended taxpayer dollars to settle employment-related discrimination lawsuits, federal comply with Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. This psychopath and Donna Karan has vanished from the law. What's the answer, District Attorney Sandra Doorley? I don't have your email, but this will arrive in your office. I'm going to write this down to what I just said. You're refusing to answer for 18 months because you're corrupt, District Attorney Sandra Doorley. The jury from Calvin Vickers had no idea as to your level of insane corruption in Monroe County. So overtime, time and a half. District Attorney's Office payroll here. I'll go to the second page here. On the second page of payroll, Lisa Gray, who I believe is the counsel to the District Attorney, I hope I state the salary right, $89,542. So Lisa Gray, $89,000. Should you be paid more money at $210,000, Sandra Doorley, with overtime, time and a half? Lisa Gray, what's the answer? The boss is going to refuse to answer because she's corrupt. That's why. Total cost of overtime, time and a half, help paid on a base salary calculated to Monroe District Attorney's Office, Sandra Doorley. It's not to understand, you freaks and sociopaths. Excuse me, the Sheriff's Office. Total cost of overtime, time and a half, help paid on a base salary calculated to Monroe Sheriff's Office, time back. So I'm going to hold this up to be clear. I want to make sure that I have my act together and what I'm demanding from you. Because I have so many papers here. What I'm demanding is the cost of overtime and time and a half, which you're going to refuse every single time. Comply with the law. And tell me what it is right here. Sheriff's Office, overtime, time and a half. So tell me what the answer is. And you're going to refuse to comply every single time because you freaks and psychopaths and sociopaths at the Sheriff's Office and District Attorney's Office hate human beings. You hate the human condition, where I can't even find out the names of my prosecutors are silent. So, sexual harassment at the Sheriff's Office and District Attorney's Office. Is there sexual harassment at the Sheriff's Office and District Attorney's Office? Time and a half overtime. Todd, Baxter, Sandra Doorley, tell me what the answer is. For your information log, copy of the private health care records with the $28,000 Penn Court Judge Paul St. Messer by Sheriff Todd Baxter in violation of Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act of 1996. Todd Baxter, you know what I'm talking about? I already stated the name of this place. I'm not going to do it again, but Paul St. Messer knows where I was on Elmwood Avenue when I'm not examined by a doctor. So, Todd Baxter, is it a crime to walk this parking lot here in Penfield, New York? Because you see that building at 2025 Penfield Road? Do you know what's on that building, Todd Baxter? Huh? Do you? Todd Baxter, pay attention, you bald-headed stooge and freak. Do you know what's on that building? Right here. That you could go and look at if you want. Because I've been on what's on this building. Todd Baxter. For your information loan. The cost of a spouse vice purchase with taxpayer dollars fixed to a building in 2025 Penfield Road, the monitor Christopher Chichester, 26 Sands Farm, walks through the parking lot, exit building, and that's Lunatic Fringe. So, you'll see the black and white photograph here, which is right there. It's the high resolution color photo. 2025 Penfield Road is for a business called Consumer Insights, where ULE Roth, the president. There's right there. Sheriff Todd Baxter, for the 100th plus time, is this private technology on this building in 2025 Penfield Road for a business called Consumer Insights, ULE Roth's the president? Or did you expend taxpayer dollars and affix it for me? Because I've seen myself on it. On the links emailed to me by the Public Defender's Office in the person of Regina Harper. Sick Lunatic Fringe, because of then $67,000 cop freak Shannon Meyer, he gave a $16,000 raise to it for writing a warrant for my arrest for walking through this parking lot in Penfield, New York. I took every sentence of this lie, this ridiculous warrant, written by this freak cop. This is why people hate the police, as I say over and over and over. Whenever I use their name, Shannon Meyer say this is why people hate the police. It's not a crime to walk through this parking lot. Here's a ridiculous warrant advised where she sets me up by using Steve Desert and Brock Coltrane long. I'm not going to talk about that again. It's not a crime to walk outside, stand right here where I'm pointing with the tip of this document. Say nobody owns the land and walk back in my rights. The desperation of this cop freak Shannon Meyer to concoct this crime for me. She should never get a 20. She's only been at the sheriff's office for 6 years. Fire her ass, Todd Baxter. Do you know why? Because I'm on here because of her. And it's not a crime to walk through this parking lot, one. It's not a crime, two, to tell a man on his track that nobody owns land next to my residence. When I'm walking through the parking lot for the 4,000th time, Elliot Roth, this is Business Consumer Insights, is standing outside with this sick idiot smile. And he says to me, you're going to be arrested, because he knows that this camera is on his building for Consumer Insights. And on January 16th, 2023, this arrived over and over in your office. Todd Baxter, Shop 130 South Plymouth Avenue, Rochester, New York. This photographs why you're a fanatic. This photographs why you're extreme. This photographs why you're a liar. This photographs why I'm literally me $67,000 disgusting as Shannon Meyer. This photograph is why people hate the police. Right here. You're refusing to answer over and over and over because your level of corruption is insane. You are insanely corrupt at that sheriff's office and district attorney's office. And you will never know it, because I've been in jail when prosecutors don't talk in court, and I don't know the names of these prosecutors that don't talk in court.
You refuse to answer. That's why you're corrupt. That's why you're unethical. That's why Mark Phillips is corrupt and unethical. That's why Regina Harper is corrupt and unethical. What you are at the public defender's office are de facto employees of the district attorney's office of Sandra Doorley. And you're in fear of the district attorney's office of Sandra Doorley. And that's why I refuse to disclose the names of my prosecutors of silence. If it was anybody in your family, Julie Sianka, that was in jail without a prosecutor talking court, I guarantee you're going to demand justice for your family member. Do the lives of others matter? Monroe County Public Defender Julie Sianka, the answer is no. On this TikTok, you also see a separate one for Perry Duckles, and he's going to do the same thing you're going to do. You want ethical, corrupt act, Julie Sianka, is he's going to refuse to disclose the names of my prosecutors as well.
That's exactly right. You're going to refuse to disclose the names of my prosecutors as well. Perry Duckles are delivering me to jail with fiction and lies. So, and they're right here. Freaks and sociopaths, district attorney's office. See that? Because that's the payroll for the district attorney's office. Todd Baxter has employees underwater in the pool. The cost for time recession approved by Monroe County Sheriff Todd Baxter for 10 Monroe County Sheriff Office employees underwater in the pool. This is his idea of what Monroe County Sheriff Office employees should be doing. I don't care if it's a private event, you bald-headed, party-switching, Benito Mussolini psychopath, Todd Baxter. Do you spend taxpayer dollars for this? I demand of him his taxpayer dollars. His response to me is a private event. He's a Machiavellian calculator. He will say anything and get away with it, where he's not held accountable at all for his ridiculous language, like his quote, I have a passion for jails. Do you freaks and sociopaths at the district attorney's office read that story in the Democrat Chronicle when he used that language? What Todd Baxter's confessing, he doesn't know it. When he says, I have a passion for jails, is that he loves suffering. And he cannot recognize that innocent citizens are in jail. He cannot recognize that he has psychopath cops below him concocting crimes for innocent citizens, because Todd Baxter is a psychopath cop. And the psychopath district attorney in Donna Coran has to have a conviction integrity unit at her district attorney's office. That's a separate bureaucracy, because the psychopath cops, the sheriff's office, like Andrew Yowley, Richard Seaman, Shannon Meyer, Don Benedetto, and Michael Houlihan are concocting crimes for me. So, Ryan Fisher in Atlanta, Georgia. Todd Baxter. Why is Ryan Fisher in Atlanta, Georgia? As I look for that photograph of him. I don't think I have it, but he's standing in front of Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia. Sheriff Todd Baxter. And yes, I do. So I said to you this is why you're corrupt. December 22nd, 2023. The cost for hotel and plane ticket for Monroe County Sheriff Office employee Ryan Fisher attended Super Bowl in Atlanta, Georgia on February 3rd, 2019. He's right here, you're tweeting about it as we get ready to watch Super Bowl. We're grateful to men and women decided to keep fans playing safe in Atlanta, including MCSO's Deputy Ryan Fisher, Cannon Lola. Deputy Fisher sent this photo from Atlanta. Thank you both for your service. There he is right here. Monroe County Sheriff Office Employee Ryan Fisher in the Deep South, Atlanta, Georgia. And Todd Baxter, the flag of the state of New York is so beautiful with a motto. It says Excelsior, that means ever higher. You see this in the New York State Capitol all the time, in the hall with the flags in it, ever higher. Excelsior. What is not ever higher is this flag. That was the flag of the state of Georgia until 2003. They did not change it until 2003. So Todd Baxter, again, I'm demanding the cost of this trip for Ryan Fisher to attend a Super Bowl in Atlanta, Georgia. When there's violence on North Clinton Avenue, where the freaks are outside, where Calvin Vickers did business, when the freaks are outside screaming at each other on North Clinton Avenue, doing other things too, behaving with such a sick anti-social personality disorder on that North Clinton Avenue. I've never seen anything like it, because I would run down there and ride my bike down there. This Valero gas station at 799 North Clinton Avenue was called the police 350 plus times. When the Valero gas station is calling the police 350 times, which the police includes the sheriff office police, Ryan Fisher's in Atlanta, Georgia. So, cost for hotel and plane ticket from Monroe County Sheriff's Office employee Ryan Fisher attends Super Bowl in Atlanta, Georgia on February 3rd, 2019. I'll repeat things because corruption requires repetition. I'm trying to find out about Renzi. New York State Supreme Court has clerks. I used to walk by the Supreme Court to get to work with the Russell Senate office building, and my friend, his name is Greg Block, knew a couple of the clerks. He'll refuse to answer because he's corrupt. Freedom of Information Law. Name, salary, public employee, New York State Supreme Court, and the supervisor judge, Alex Renzi, 99 Exchange Boulevard, Rochester, 14604. I know I don't have his email, but I'm going to send this to him. He's going to look at it, refuse, and this is why he's corrupt. Just like Sandra Doorley is going to look at every single one of these when I print it out from the PDF that it's now in. I'm going to send it to the district attorney's office using these green cards right here. This green card is going to come back to me. Everything I'm reading here, Sandra Doorley is going to look at it, especially the foils out commonly called sexual abuse, because she's corrupt. She vanished as district attorney. District attorney vanished from the law. District attorney doesn't know she's the district attorney. The sheriff vanished from the law. The sheriff doesn't know he's the sheriff. Freedom of Information Law. Name, salary, every public employee, Pampa Town Court does the old lady at the window receive more pay and tax dollars and $28,000 policy. That's what that you in writing about Jermaine Behrman. Do you know who I'm talking about? So what's the answer? Metzler and Mully. Does the old lady paid more money than you? And answer me. They'll refuse to answer me. Everybody's guilty in that little star chamber. Is that right? So you contract for your weapons. The weapons are you for free, Sheriff Todd Baxter. You have a vendor if it's called a vendor. You have a contractor if it's called a contractor. You have a party, a business that delivers the weapons to you, and then you pay tax dollars for the weapons. And who is it? And what's the price? Freedom of Information Law. Contract signed by Sheriff Todd Baxter to purchase firearms from Monroe County Sheriff Office employees to include 1, the name of the firearms contractor, 2, the number of firearms purchased, 3, total amount of tax dollars to purchase firearms. When I send it to Control Thomas B. Knapp, I've demanded this now 50 plus times. I will include, I believe, at least 500 words, perhaps 1,000 words, just on your contract alone. I'm going to include every single time you refuse to comply with this FOIL, including the ones that arrive in your office, over and over and over. See that? That's you, Todd Baxter. Are you confused why you're corrupt? And you are. You don't know you're corrupt. I think that Sheriff Todd Baxter has even had thoughts about running for Attorney General, some other higher office, perhaps statewide office in New York State, when he's as corrupt as any sheriff of the 62 counties in the state of New York. So, Alex Renzi, name, salary, every public employee in New York State Supreme Court, and supervisor judge Alex Renzi, 99 Exchange Boulevard. So, try to find out if he has clerks. Minors on your payroll. What's the answer? It's simple as it gets, Todd Baxter. You have minors on your payroll. A minor is a human being 17 years or less. What's the answer? On the last page of payroll that I no longer have, because Anthony Nospano evicted me, you have your $10,000, $12,000 employees. Are they 1 minors? Or are they 2 related to Monroe County Sheriff Office employees? Yes or no? Freedom of Information. The number of minors on the public employee payroll for Sheriff Todd Baxter for minors, human beings 17 years or younger. Same thing. For this revolting freak in Donna Coran that calls herself Sandra Doorley, Freedom of Information Law, the number of minors on the public employee payroll for District Attorney Sandra Doorley, minors, human being, 17 years or younger. So, the number you're going to comply with, number 19, is 0. Because you're corrupt. Antonio Spano evicted me, and I had this poster of Winston Churchill on my wall, never to give up. This is is included here in these. I don't have this poster anymore that I had for 30 years. A poster I had for 30 years with this exact language of Winston Churchill, I don't have because Anthony Lospano evicted me. Just like I don't have Slaughterhouse 5. This book here. 30 years I had Slaughterhouse 5. Do you know that his boyhood home is on Monroe Avenue? And when I first bought this book, I did not know that the boyhood home for Kurt Vonnegut is on Monroe Avenue. So, criminal complaints. It's not a crime to walk through a parking lot in Pemberley, New York. Do you understand me? You bald-headed freak, Todd Baxter? It's not a crime to walk through a parking lot. When Nayron shot his 50-year-old man, his 7-year-old mother, go to the sheriff's office and you walk through his parking lot, that is a crime because he's false reporting an incident or false reporting something that's not a crime. I must be New York's 4,000-time criminal. Pemberley High School students in a red Atlantic power walk through his parking lot. Nayron shot and his idiot mother, look at them. They're not going to the sheriff's office. It's only me. It's not a crime to walk through this parking lot, Sheriff Todd Baxter. It's not a crime to tell a man on his tractor nobody owns the land next to my residence or walk back in my residence when I talk to Timothy Murphy, the Monroe County Office of Real Property Tax Service. Do you understand what I'm talking about? Are you watching me, you sick degenerate, Todd Baxter? Do you understand what I'm talking about? That it's not a crime to walk through this parking lot. And if you want any integrity, decency, and character, you would call your $83,000 freak, Shannon Meyer, into your office, download this map here from Google Maps, put this in front of her and say, is it a crime for a citizen to walk through this parking lot? Because she has to say yes. And then you should fire her ass. Not to do any of that. So, Pastor 4 criminal complaints with this language. Richard J. Seaman, the Monroe County Sheriff's Office, walked in Pemberley Public Library in Pemberley, New York, ran at Christopher Chichester, slammed his arm at the head of Chichester, fall backwards, hit his head on the traffic top floor. 2. Name Roger Layla Kumar shot 2033 Pemberley Road, Pemberley, New York, 14526, false reporting an incident of Christopher Chichester, formerly 26 Sandra from driving, walking to a parking lot next to his residence. 3. Antonio Spano, Fairport, New York, locked the front and back doors of his residence, 26 Sandra from drive, Pemberley, New York, without a court order. Law arrives, Webster, New York, transport personal belongings of Christopher Chichester, 26 Sandra from drive, to a storage locker in Webster, New York, without a court order. These are crimes. Each individual will not be arrested or prosecuted. There is a 1-day in jail served for these crimes that destroy my life because you are incapable of identifying crime and you concoct crimes for instances. You hate the human conditions. Then these 2 links here: rejection for 113-918 Perry Douglas, 112-508 Mark Monahan, YouTube unconstitutional, Sheriff Todd Baxter, District San Joy, Judge Alex Renzi. Then I say resign. So that language that I just read, I'm not just writing this down on a piece of paper here. This is documentation. I had Christopher Price, the Monroe branch, the Rochester Public Library, notarized this for me. There it is right there about Richard J. Seaton. I'm swearing that he violently attacked the public library, for which he should be in state prison. There's my name right there. And my signature. Here it is, Layla Kumar and Nayron shot. These 2 freaks going to the sheriff's office about this parking lot. It is a crime for Nayron shot and Layla Kumar shot, Pemberley, New York, to go to the sheriff's office and report this and demand that I be arrested. That's a crime. So, here's my name here saying that they falsely reported this incident as a crime right there. It's my signature. Arrest them. And they're not going to be arrested, charged, prosecuted. Nothing's going to happen to these 2 freaks. This 50-year-old man who lives with his 70-year-old mother. Here's Anthony Ospano here. It's a crime in the state of New York to lock a tenant out even when the tenant doesn't have a lease without a court order. And this is me signing my name to this here saying this 80-year-old man who speaks in broken English did this to me, committing this crime. And being 80 years old and speaking broken English is going to rescue him. So, Laura Riley, Webster, New York, my ex-girlfriend, I lived with 3 different residents, took everything to a storage locker. When I'm in Livingston County Jail after I'm attacked by Richard Seaman, I do not know this is happening. And everything I own is gone because of her and this old man. No court order. So, Laura Riley, Webster, New York, I'm swearing here that she committed this crime. On this July 21st, she has been arrested, charged, prosecuted. Nothing's going to happen to her, even though this is a crime. Freedom of information, criminal complaint, not freedom of information. There's my name right there, swearing that she did this. Because I own nothing, have nothing, because of my ex-girlfriend, and our relationship ended, and there she is back in my life again. She wants a bookcase that's in our residence that I told her she didn't have. That's why she's doing this to me. So I have to file a separate criminal complaint to retrieve a bookcase she doesn't own. Not only is she taking my property out of my residence without my knowledge and leaving all my books in there for Anthony Ospano to throw away, she now has a bookcase she doesn't own in her residence. lunatic French because you freaks and sociopaths, the sheriff's office and district attorney's office, concoct a crimes for me, prosecuting me asylums. This is a criminal complaint from Michael Lamb for perjury. Todd Baxter loves perjurers. Todd Baxter loves freaks hiding in bushes. So this is it right here. It took a little longer. This is my handwriting right here. That handwriting from Michael Lamb and Don Benedetto is this language right here that you can read in PDF. A perjurer who won't be arrested, fired, prosecuted. Nothing's going to happen to this perjurer freak, Michael Houlihan. Criminal complaint for perjury for 73212 Michael C. Houlihan, the Monroe County Sheriff's Office. At 73312 Michael C. Houlihan, the Monroe County Sheriff's Office, walked onto private property across from residence 26 Sandra from John Pemberton, New York, Christopher Chichester. That Houlihan ran to Chichester approximately 1 a.m. with 85,000 on Don Benedetto Sheriff's Office. That Chichester ran away from Houlihan and Benedetto, one of the identities. That Chichester grabbed a hammer alongside the residence next to his bike to fix the bike's tire. That as Chichester placed his foot on the first of 3 steps of the back porch, Houlihan grabbed his arm and hammered Chichester's hands forced upwards. Chichester ran through his back porch through his sliding glass door. And as Chichester never stopped running, it is impossible to swing the hammer at 73312 Michael Houlihan. It is impossible to swing the hammer. And what do you fail to understand? You freak director of the grand jury, Michelle Crowley. Why don't you call me to the grand jury and you can stand right in front of me, in front of the grand jurors, and ask me anything you want? Because I'm your ham sandwich, that's why. Answer me, Michelle Crowley. Answer me about the grand jury. Now, Michelle Crowley, that grand jury is convened without my knowledge. And why is that? Because you hate human beings. That's why. And right here on this October 4th, information about the grand jury convened by District Attorney Sandra to Todd and Christopher Chichester, the day, month, and year the grand jury is convened. To the assigned District Attorney's office employed to address the grand jury. For the witnesses testify the grand jury. The vote of the grand jury is transferred to the grand jury proceeding. Sandra Doorley looked right at that on this October 4th that arrived at the District Attorney's office, registered mail, return receipt. She refused. So here, registered mail, return receipt. This is October 13th. Todd Baxter, October 13th. Sandra Doorley, October 13th. What names are prosecutor? Sandra Doorley. Alex Renzi, return receipt. October 13th. Trinity Ross, United States Attorney for West District, New York, on October 13th. Sandra Doorley, October 13th again. What names are prosecutor? A separate packet for you. October 13th, Alex Renzi. Who sent me to Alex Renzi for further proceedings? Who's that prosecutor? So Trinity Ross again on October 13th. Let's see, October 12th, Erin Sandell, Lollipop Farm Humane Society. I had to contact Lollipop Farm Humane Society and thank them. The Monroe County Sheriff's Office coming to my residence to demand my dog. This is because of Nayrod Shah and Kumar Shah. So I contacted Erin Sandell because I would like to adopt another dog, a Lollipop. These two freaks are evil. Nayrod Shah and Kumar Shah. I walked my dog 4,000 times the property behind my residence. I have ownership. So I wrote a letter on a card. Darren Sandell, Lollipop Farm Humane Society. Because when I got out of Monroe County Jail the first time, I had to go back to Lollipop to get him. And I met Erin. So I thanked Erin for taking care of my little guy, Lollipop. That's why I talked to her again on this October 12th. Hearts of Gold, Lollipop Farm Humane Society. What's not Hearts of Gold is free cops coming to the home of an innocent citizen because of Nayrod Shah and Lady Kumar Shah, 50-year-old freak and a 70-year-old freak on Penfield Road. So, Tony at this institution. That's why it says Tony. I'm not going to say his last name. Tony, help me here. This institution is named for William Booth. And I was born at Booth Memorial Hospital in Queens, New York on July 4, 1965. Antonio Spino locked the doors and locked me out, and that's why I'm here without a court order. And that's why I know Tony, who helped me over and over and over at this terrific institution at 70 Liberty Pole Way, right near the Liberty Pole. I should never know his name. I'm glad I know his name because I would have been sleeping outside. I slept next to the Genesee River for weeks. I was going over to Emmanuel Baptist Church, the food bin that they have. There's a food bin right there next to the church. And when I'm going over there at midnight, when it's pitch black, I haven't had anything to eat for 48 hours, 72 hours. I'm hoping at least there's some food in there. I'm glad I was in the Army where I had discipline, where I now know how to be hungry for 48 to 72 hours. These Nayrod Shah, Leila Kumar Shah, set in motion everything that's happened to me when I'm at a pantry, it's called, at Emmanuel Baptist Church in Rochester, New York at midnight. Well, I'm looking around to see if anybody's there. It's because the Nehra Shah, the Kumar Shah, going to the sheriff's office and he walked through that parking lot. It's because Antonio Spino locking the doors and locking me out. So, Alex Renzi, September 19th again. I'm not going to read the rest of them. So, what are the names of my prosecutors? Tell me the names of my prosecutors. Silence. You're going to continue to refuse. Todd Baxter's employees are web. It's a joke. They're there all the time. Ridiculous. So, the district attorney who has vanished from decency, who has vanished from morality, has vanished from the law. The names of my prosecutors are right here. Disclose the names of my prosecutors. Silence. You, district attorney Sandra Doorley. You, Sheriff Todd Baxter. You, Alex Renzi. You, Paul C. Messer. You, John P. Menzel Jr. And you, James Felony Jr. are evil. My name is Christopher Chichester. I have never committed a crime.